And I want to congratulate you on Firebird. It's engrossing and heartfelt, and it made me a little wispy, and I absolutely love it.
Thank you so much. That's really amazing to hear.
Oh, you're so welcome. So first things first, not only did you star in the film as Sergey, but you also co-wrote the script with director Peeter Rebane. Normally, you write the script, then you can act after, but you did it the opposite. You were hired as an actor, and then you helped co-wrote the script. How did that come about?
Well, I just finished shooting Kingsman: The Secret Service and The Theory of Everything in England, and I flew to Los Angeles not long after that. And I was quite amazed to find that the first meeting I had nothing to do with any of the agents or anything I was working with. At the time, it was just like an acquaintance meeting. And it was a film financer and a producer, and she just read Peeter Rebane's first draft of what was then called Roman. And she was like, wow, I think you'd be really good to play the lead in this film. And I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like a very interesting story. And so she introduced us a few weeks later back in London. And then we just started talking about the project, and I was like, wow, this sounds really cool. And so we decided to shoot 2 scenes as a sort of proof of concept and to help get the rest of the finances involved. And it was during filming those 2 scenes, I just said, maybe I could suggest we change the dialogue a little bit here or there, and then maybe like a little bit of a structural change here or there. And then we sat down for a few weeks afterwards and discussed, my kind of vision of like what sort of scope the film actually could become. And then 2.5 years worth of rewriting, restructuring, redrafting, and going to meet the real Sergey actually in Moscow as well was really part of that development process. And yeah, it ended up being a very different scale of a film from the moment that I jumped in, and not to say that one was better than another, but I think we're both pretty satisfied with the final result.
Oh, so you did meet with the real Sergey before he passed away. What was his main edict? What was he telling you? What was the things that he wanted to be in the film?
I mean, he was amazingly open-minded in terms of how he wanted to shoot it. But the one specific thing he said to us before we left and saw him for the last time actually was that he was like saying, please make this film about love, not about politics. And obviously, ironically enough, today, it couldn't probably be more politically relevant, but we had always intended, and we always went through in that very vein to make it about love between 2 people.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, the best romantic films, in my humble opinion, are those ones told with war on the backdrop, right? Like, Casablanca or Gone with the Wind, right? I mean, this could have easily been a politically charged film, but the romance and love come off beautifully. So that was the original intent then?
Yep.
Oh, now this is a very timely film, right? With what's going on in Russia right now. But I heard that when you guys were doing the festival rounds, especially the Russian film festivals, there were some disruptions. Tell us more about that.
Well, we submitted the film to the Moscow International Film Festival, honestly, never ever believing that they would actually accept our to the submission, and they did. Somebody actually dared to program it there, and we were like, wow, okay, maybe there's real progress actually that is about to kind of begin to occur in Russia. And anyway, so the film went ahead, and the first screening went on, and then after that there was 93 press articles written the next day, 92 of them inherently negative, because it's effectively illegal to write positive things about such a story actually in Russia, and a denial that actually it even existed. And then there was a letter written to the state prosecution office saying that the film should be removed from the festival. And then we had protesters outside the cinema holding banners saying stop homosexual propaganda. And then the second screening was effectively silenced. The tickets were cancelled, and everybody that we sent, or everybody who had bought a ticket, wasn't allowed in. and the film literally played to an empty auditorium.
Wow. I mean, isn't that a bit sad? I mean, it's a movie that's pretty much what the movie is all about. And you know what I mean? Then 50 something years later, it's still happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And then also we actually also were the opening night film at the pretty much only LGBT film festival in Russia, in St. Petersburg. And then actually when we were doing the live Q&A on Zoom, the servers were attacked by like Russian bots, and they had to sort of temporarily suspend the Q&A, and they also had to move the servers actually to Ukraine to host the film festival, because there basically was intervention made in the Russian servers, that they were like, we're not showing this, we're not allowing this film festival to run.
Yeah. No, Firebird opens nationwide on April 22nd. And I mean, April 29th next week. I have a couple of questions on that. First, how does it feel that after doing the festival rounds for more than a year, right? More people are now going to see it.
Amazing. Like really, really incredible to finally have people able to go, you know, back to the theater again. And it's so amazing to hear also that people who have actually seen the film, you know, maybe at a festival before and streamed it at home, have then also seen it in the cinema in the UK now, and they're saying that the cinematic experience of it, because it's, you know, it's shot for cinema, really comes through really strongly. So that's like really cool to hear.
And along the same line though, how was the experience writing the film, and will you write a script again?
The process of creating the film was, the writing process was pretty intricate, pretty challenging, but very rewarding. You know, we had quite a long time developing the script, and I think that actually that really helped us refine it very, very well. And you know, we kind of managed to not fall into too many cliche pitfalls and things like that, because Peter was not a trained writer, I was not a trained writer, and so a lot of it was sort of learning and reading like Blake Schneider's Save the Cat book and all kinds of, you know, learning along the way. And I would certainly do it again, and I intend to write again, because if, you know, if the stories that you want to play or the stories that you want to see aren't, you know, appearing or you sort of see, then you've got to create them for yourself and then share it with everybody else.
Exactly. Finally, what do you hope for viewers to get after watching Firebird?
I really hope that it allows people to follow their heart a bit more and to dare to love a little bit harder, and to also really, you know, take a moment and just go like, wow, we have such freedom and such liberty in so many parts of the world now. And don't get me wrong, there is also a huge plight still, and it's unspeakable still in the countries where it's, you know, death sentence, and it's insanity that, you know, you can literally be killed for loving the person that you love. So it's to kind of take heart that actually how much liberty that, you know, many people have, and also to create a greater understanding towards the LGBTQA plus community, especially if you know, people aren't part of it. And a lot of people have said actually that, who have seen the film, who aren't part of the community, have said that they will treat people in that community with a much greater respect as a result of seeing it, and also it really appealed to them.
Oh, and because of that, I thank you so much. Yeah. Well, one more thing along that same line, though, you know, you just have to speak the truth, right? Your truth.
Totally.
Oh, a big congrats on Firebird again, Mr. Tom. It will make you fall in love and will give you all the feels.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good luck on everything, okay?
Thank you.